You're into the boxing versus puncher type of fight. Right after that, next week, following Kovalev Ward, there's Vasyl Lomachenko versus Nicholas Walters. Your thoughts on that fight and how that fight will be broken down?
It's hard to bet against Lomachenko, man. He's the real deal. He really, I mean, you look at him, he's very accurate. His footwork is amazing. I think on his second fight, he fought Orlando Salido, who's no joke to anybody. And yeah, he didn't come out victorious, but to fight that guy and give him the fight that he gave him, and he learned immensely from that, it's hard to bet against that guy, man. I think Walters had the puncher's chance. I mean, it showed what he did against Nonito Donaire, but I don't really think you can compare Donaire to Lomachenko. I think they're two different guys. Yeah. And that's not a disrespect to Donaire. I think he's a hell of a fighter himself. He's got his hands full with Magdaleno, but I think he's the hell of a fighter. So right now it's hard to bet against Lomachenko.
As just, you brought up Donaire when he fought Walters and how Lomachenko's a different fighter than him. But let's talk about that Donaire fight. You said that he has his hands full with Magdaleno. Magdaleno, young up-and-coming guy, very good fighter, was with Joel Diaz, now with Manny Robles and everything. How do you see that fight going?
I think where Donaire's at in his career, it's a great fight for Magdaleno. I don't think the powers that be that made this fight happen, they didn't make it happen because they weren't confident in his ability to come out victorious that night. And Donaire's just a game guy, so he's going to fight anybody anyways, and he's kind of been that A-side guy for a long time. Granted, he had a couple hiccups that he's had, but I think out with the old and the new, if you will. And I think, Magdaleno, I followed him from a outside perspective, and I hope it's not disrespect to Magdaleno, and after watching, man, it's not a disrespectful comparison, but you remind me of a young Victor Ortiz, and and not the one that has a question mark of heart, the guy that was coming up that everyone was excited about, the guy that was supposed to be the next De La Hoya, if you will. That's the guy I'm talking about. When I was an amateur, I sparred many of rounds with Victor.
Oh, really?
And he was the most accurate guy. I mean, matter of fact, that's when he was with Grandpa Garcia, and they came to spar with me over at Ben Lira's gym, and the LA Times was there, and here's these two guys. I think I had one pro fight, and he had like 10 pro fights already, and they brought us in to spar, and we were just teeing off on each other. I mean, it was tough sparring, but we were boom, boom, back and forth. And after 3 rounds, they said, okay, no more, because you guys are just... And they did a write-up about it. That, here's these two guys, and they said that it looked like two surgeons going into operation. Because, I mean, we were really beating the crap. And Victor, in my opinion, at that point in his career, was a tough guy to deal with. There was always question marks with his heart, and I don't want to knock the guy for that because I know what it takes to get in the ring. But the young Victor Ortiz, the first guy that everyone was high up on, that's who Magdaleno reminds me of. And I think he's accurate. I think he's a strong puncher. I think he has a lot of upside. There's a big upside to him. And I'm excited about the Donaire fight. I'm definitely going to watch that fight.
Lundy?
You don't mind me asking?
I was going to let Hank Lundy. He's been around for a while.
What do you think really happened to Victor Ortiz? What was the downfall? Why did he come apart? I mean, because honestly, I really thought he was one of the best fighters coming up. I thought he had such talent and such skills, but mentally was just never there.
Look at from a fighter's perspective, it's unfair to talk about the guy because I don't know what's inside his head. From an outside perspective, looking in, it looks like he's a little gun shy. He has all the ability, but if someone hurts him, that question mark goes up. Case in point, when we found out about Maidana. That's how Maidana got birthed onto the scene. When stuff like that happens, 1 time, okay, you give the guy the benefit of the doubt. 2 times, okay, wait a minute, now I'm seeing a pattern. 3 times, wait a minute. 4 times, uh-oh. 5 times, I call it like I see it.
Yeah.
But again, that's no disrespect to Victor Ortiz. He did what he had to do in the game. I think he can still come back, but there's a big question mark in his head. So you got to really battle that question mark before you get in this ring.